It's Missing Real on account of Mike Darrigo. Now you gotta ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk? We all have it coming.
Well, guess what you've all got coming? Another episode of Missing Real and the return of one of my best favorite guests ever, Professor Dave Chan. Hey, Dave.
Hey, what's up, Mikey?
Welcome back, man. You're on the frontier today. We're going Western today.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, for a change, right?
Yes, that's right.
It's right up there with You're the Hunter from the Future, but today we're going to talk about Clint, the gunslinger from the past or the West or wherever he's from.
Yeah. It's a terrific movie.
Which one is this, by the way? Is it the good, the bad, and the dirty? What are we watching today? A Fistful of Bullets? What is it?
No, it's A Fistful of Unforgiven.
Unforgiven. Yes, from 1992, right?
That's correct.
Was this something of a farewell to the whole Western genre in Clint's movie career? Or you probably know a bit more about it than me, so I'll let you speak on this topic.
Actually, no, I don't know any of the behind-the-scenes stuff. I just like the movie a lot, Michael.
Oh, okay. Well, I like the movie. I like the movie good. It's plenty good movie, and I know some behind-the-scenes stuff because, the scenes themselves I'm not that familiar with, but I watched it very recently.
Yeah, no, I just think that the writing is just superb, and it's an original screenplay. It's not adapted.
Yeah, those are good. I love original screenplays.
Yeah,
man.
David Webb Peoples. Man.
David Webb Peoples. He's one of the people that spun the web that was Blade Runner.
Yes, 12 Monkeys.
So, of course, the writing's going to be awesome. Yes, 12 Monkeys. And, let's not forget about Leviathan and Lady Hawk and Soldier with Kurt Russell. Yeah. All good. All movies that I actually own. So he can't be that bad a screenwriter, yeah?
That's right.
And the funny shit is, Unforgiven was the one movie that I did not own until somebody just gave me a copy of it on DVD very kindly. A little shout out to Corbin Lott for giving me his Unforgiven DVD. Thank you, Corbin.
All right.
And you got to go find yours, right? You who are such a fan of this movie, you couldn't find your DVD. Mike, did I loan you my Unforgiven DVD? No, you did not.
No, you know what? Maybe my DVD player ate it because it played so much. It just probably melded with the DVD player.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's better than chewing up the VHS tape.
Yeah. But I've seen the movie so many times. I'm probably caught up.
So now your mind is the DVD.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I only saw it a couple times, and the couple meaning probably the second time I saw it was just last week, so I could talk about it with you. But it's a really good movie. I have no argument there. It's really quality stuff. So how big a Clint Eastwood fan are you, regardless? Not counting even this movie, just overall the whole Clint Eastwood film career.
I think he's a legend.
In his own mind, right?
No.
Yeah, he really is. I know. I jest with thee.
It spans decades. It crosses centuries. Yeah, he's definitely a legend.
Well, I don't think he did anything in the future like Yor did. But I think Clint's movies are present day or Western era in the past. I mean, I'd like to see Clint do a futuristic movie, maybe pop up in a Star Wars or something, but he probably won't.
No, I think no futuristic, but the only space. Right? Was it the Cowboys?
Space Cowboys, but you still had to throw in the cowboy thing.
Right.
They still brought their lassos and were trying to rope cattle in 0G and whatever they were doing. It's just, yeah. Well, Firefox was sort of futuristic because at the time, 1982, that plane was faster than anything we had in the real world. Right. And he had to steal it, and he did.
Yeah. You control the plane by using Russian commands.
So he could just go da or niet, and it'll stop and go.
No missiles, no guns.
Yeah, na zdrovia. That doesn't do anything.
It serves you a drink.
Well, speaking of drinks, since you good segue. Right here, you could hear it.
Oh, very nice.
I'm drinking a glass of High West whiskey just to get into the mood.
Be careful, Mike.
I know, because under circumstances, this shit would kill me.
Yeah, I'm drinking water.
With ice.
That was me like tapping the cup. So.
Oh, you don't even have ice.
No ice, man.
Man, you faked it. You're really good on the Foley. I think you should work in film because I really believe you had ice cubes in there.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I got it now. I got.
Damn, you're brilliant. You're good, man. I bet you could like do footsteps and everything. Okay. Oh, see, yeah. I turned my camera off, so I don't know what the hell you're doing. That could be some lewd act I don't even want to discuss. Right. Yeah. Let's talk about Unforgiven, right? Shall we? Clint Eastwood and all the shit he's done. I mean, he's an actor, a director, writer, I guess. He wrote stuff, sort of a musician as well.
Oh, yeah? What does he play?
I don't know. I think he co-wrote the theme song from Unforgiven, that little plinky acoustic guitar thing, that really sad theme.
Oh, that's really nice.
I think so, yeah. And I actually thought when I heard the song in Gran Torino, it was just a guy singing like this. I said, that must be Clint singing it, but it isn't. I thought maybe he took the mic, but he don't. But he loves music. I mean, he also directed Bird about Charlie Parker.
Right.
And I'm sure he has a lot of good music knowledge. Play Misty for Me. Back in 71, he was a DJ. So he probably has a good record collection.
Very nice.
If you recollect. All right, but let's just talk about Unforgiven. Otherwise, we'll be here forever. And that would be unforgivable. All right, so his character in this movie, I don't know if it's a man with no name. I think he does have a name in this movie.
It's William Money.
Any relative of Eddie Money, perhaps?
No. Unfortunately not.
That sucks, man.
The original title for the script was The William Money Killings.
I think Unforgiven sounds cooler.
Yeah, I think so.
It does. Even if you did steal money and it was unforgivable, it's just call it Unforgiven.
Right.
So there's a lot of Southern dialogue in this movie. I love that stuff because it's like a different way of speaking and it's eloquent, but at the same time sounds kind of dumb. But I like it. Like here, let me give you the description of Clint's character, Mr. William Money there, because they describe him in the opening credits.
Yes.
Even though we have Morgan Freeman in the movie, it's not narrated, which is like, what a relief. Like it's not narrated. We actually have to read some text. It's like, the beginning of Star Wars when the text is scrolling up, but it's only going straight up. So Clint's character, Money, is described as a known thief and murderer, a man of notoriously vicious and intemperate disposition. Let me say that one more time. A known thief and murderer, a man of notoriously vicious and intemperate disposition. Simply put, a mean bitch.
Pretty much.
Yeah, which he has to be. I mean, Clint will never play a pussy, will he?
Yeah, and that's one of the great themes about the story, too. One theme is the idea of legend and how that comes about, how that's passed on. And these words crawling on the screen is kind of like hearsay. It's kind of like someone telling us a story about William Money. And then we pass it on to someone else.
So he's just like a myth, but maybe nobody knows him personally.
Right. He comes off as a myth, as this mythic character because everyone's heard of him, right? Little Bill, like, oh, you're William Money out of Cheyenne. I forget. But that's one of the beautiful things I love about this script is just how it touches on that, the theme of legend, aside from other themes in that.
And even if you've seen him in all these other movies, you probably think he's a legend already. But this is just like for the character's perspective.
Right.
A little more southernness. They open up the movie here with some more good words. She was a comely young woman and not without prospects. So can you translate that to today's parlance? What does that mean exactly?
Yeah, she was lovely and had a lot of guys hit her up.
Okay, hit her up or knock her up?
Not knock her up, hit her up.
Okay, hit her up. Okay, because there's a lot of violence against women, and right at the beginning of this movie. In fact, it's the whole premise, really. Modern day parlance.
Yes, she would have many suitors calling upon her.
Oh, people wearing suits. Yeah. I gotcha. But these
caller, Mike.
A gentleman caller. There weren't many gentlemen in this movie. No. I think the most gentlemanly thing anybody does is they just lift their hat up for a second and put it back on, and then they offend you.
Yeah.
Or shoot you. Yeah.
The only gentleman, I mean, we're probably going to use that word loosely in this movie, is probably the one who gets killed.
Yeah.
One of the first people who gets killed.
Yeah.
So, which would be Morgan Freeman.
Mm-hmm. It takes him a while, though, to get killed. He lives through most of the movie.
Yeah. And he ran with Bill Money, for years and years. right?
And they were not always on the right side of the law.
Yeah, and I'm sure they escaped a lot of posses and escaped a lot of lawmen, but it's just this one time that he agreed to go with them the last time.
Hey, it's always the last time. One more big heist, and then we're done, right?
Right.
And then we're out.
Yeah, and that's what's sad about it. You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if either of them were really that well-to-do. They weren't exactly living in Beverly Hills.
Yeah, that's right.
But they could have used some money. Clint had 2 children he was raising by himself there. Money. He didn't have much money, despite his name.
Yeah, Ned just had, Morgan Freeman's character just had Sally Two Trees.
Sally Two Trees. Does that mean she usually does 2 gentleman suitors at a time? Where does she get that name from?
Yeah, like 2 branches?
Yeah, 2 trees. 2 tree trunks. Oh, anyways, sorry. Am I being disrespectful to this film and to you?
I think you are. I think you should write to David Webb Peoples and apologize in a very sincere email.
The Peoples! First of all, I love Blade Runner. I love Blade Runner, but from there, it was like all downhill.
Right.
No, anyway, I have nothing to criticize about this movie. I'm just having fun, Don't shoot. I come in peace. So this movie takes place in 1880 in Big Whiskey, Wyoming, which I suppose is a real place. There's a lot of smallpox going around. That's what people are catching. There's no COVID, but back then it was smallpox.
Yeah.
It sucks. It killed a lot of people, killed a lot of folk. Medicine was not as advanced as it is today.
It definitely thinned the herd. Yep.
It did, yes. But I guess the triggering thematic event in the movie is the slashing of a prostitute's face by some unruly customer. Slashes this woman's face up pretty bad. And the guy who owns the saloon / brothel or whatever it is played by Anthony James, a guy who played a million guys in a million movies. He plays Skinny Dubois in this movie.
Yes.
And he is fucking skinny. He's tall and skinny and
right.
Played a lot of creepy characters in the films. I've seen like the chauffeur with the hearse and Burnt Offerings and a million TV shows and Naked Gun 2.5. He's the assassin who can't help himself and starts singing along with The Way We Were. Can it be? When he's about to murder Priscilla Presley. You remember that, don't you?
I don't think I do.
Oh, my God. How could you not remember that? That's one of his shining moments. But then I think this movie here is one of his best performances, but also his final performance.
Is that right?
Yeah, this was his last movie. But he was a very interesting and very ubiquitous actor everywhere. You could probably see him on any TV show from the 70s and 80s. Yeah,
I got to do more research on him. Everybody was great. The entire cast was phenomenal.
Yeah, the casting was really nice, really well done in this movie. But so his character is maybe not that caring for his whores. They don't have much of a union or protection of any sort. They don't have a pimp, unless it's him. I don't know. They have a madam. Mm-hmm. I guess like the head whore, the madam, Strawberry Alice, played by Frances Fisher.
Right. From
Titanic, 1997. Right. And from the Nirvana song about Frances Fisher having her revenge on something. That's all I know about Frances Fisher, really, sadly. I mean, I should know more, but she's in Unforgiven and she's in Titanic.
Cool.
And a Nirvana song, yeah. So those are all good things.
That's all you need.
I think so. It's more than I've done, man.
Right.
Okay, so the little altercation with the cowboy who slashes up the prostitute, and Anthony James takes care of it, at least right there, get off of her, cowboy. And she pissed him off because he had a teensy little pecker.
Right.
Oh, well, it's a cut-up whore. So she goes through the rest of the movie being referred to as a cut-up whore.
She was laughing, and that pissed off the cowboy.
Yeah.
That's why he slashed her.
I guess so. Yeah, you don't laugh at a cowboy's... maybe, when he stands next to his horse, there's nothing he can do about it, but he's got to be proud of what he's got down there.
Right.
It's like, I'm sorry, but, look at you and look at your horse. Yeah, maybe he should be fucking me. But Mr. Ed would probably make a better client, yeah. All right, so who comes along to sort of like bring some justice? Well, I don't know, Little Bill, Gene Hackman. He's the law in town and maybe not the most effective, or he kind of just does for himself, I think. He doesn't really look after anybody. He just wants to make sure everybody knows he's in charge. He wears the badge. Yeah,
and his sentence is light.
Extremely light, yeah. I'm going to give him some ponies.
Right.
Give him some ponies. We're not going to hang you. We're not going to whip you. Not going to cut your teensy little pecker off. No, just give up some ponies because that's like your currency. That's like a parking ticket, a fine.
Yeah. And these opening scenes also touch on another theme. It's just the ambiguity of morality and law, right, and ethics. So when we first see Skinny, I don't know about you, but I think he's the good guy. When he comes in and puts a gun to the cowboy's head, so we know who the bad guy is in this scene. It's the cowboy.
Oh, yeah, in that scene. Because, yeah, Anthony James is just like, hey, you know, I've played enough bad guys. Let me look heroic here for a moment. Right. And it looks like he's taking care of his girls. You know? Yes,
right. Well, we don't really know who he is yet, right?
Yeah, no, we don't know.
Right.
He might be the next guy in line. You know, hey, don't mess that up. I want it next.
Yeah, right. So, but then we find out that he is the owner, and he's not such a great guy. But then they call the sheriff.
Gene Hackman, finest actor.
Great. Now these guys are going to see some just punishment, right? But no. But Gene Hackman's idea of morality and law is also skewed. It's crooked, right? And now we're left thinking, holy shit, like this is an awful town. Because when you have like a crooked law enforcement department or who has a very skewed view of what right and wrong is, then you're in a world of hurt, right? Because who's going to protect you?
Yeah, your gun is going to protect you if you got one. You know how to use it.
Right. But then in walks William Moneylater. And even though he's this murderer who did probably unspeakable things, you know.
Ex-murderer.
Yeah, or probably more than that. He probably did a lot of just crazy stuff.
He's reformed, just like his buddy Morgan Freeman.
Yes, but he's quote the voice of reason.
He's the one you want to see dishing out justice.
Right, but it's not true justice either.
Nah, it's not. It's just revenge for hire. And for a few dollars more.
Right, but it's kind of like, which evil do you choose? Which devil do you choose?
I go with Clint, man. Yeah, screw Lex Luthor, man. Clint is the man.
Yeah, but then again, you don't want to live under him either.
He doesn't want to take over the town. He's just doing his thing, making his way through, fending for his children.
Anyway, that's another thing what I loved about this film. But please, go on, Michael.
The sisterhood of the brothel there, they sort of start this Kickstarter to get her a facelift.
Yeah.
And the cut up. And, they're trying to pool away some money for her. It is. It's like the first GoFundMe back in the West. And whatever 19th century plastic surgery could do, they want to buy it for her and fix her face up. But when we first see Clint Eastwood there, Will Money, he's wallowing around in a pig pen on his farm.
Yeah.
And who comes along then while he's just dealing with his pigs? Is it the
Schofield kid?
The Schofield kid, yeah. He looks a little bit like Christian Slater there for the first couple of seconds I see him.
He does, yes.
And he's talking about there's a reward about finding these no good cowboys who done cut up that whore.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah, not interested. It's like, well, if you change your mind, you could just like catch up to me on this and that trail. I can't leave you my number. You can't IM me or anything like that. You just got to follow my horse tracks if you can. Follow the dust, and I'll be over there in the next county or whatever.
Right.
But he manages later. You know, these guys, they know the trails. But this Schofield kid is played by, let's see, what's his name? James Woolvett. But his James is spelled Jaimz, which really makes me think of James Hetfield and Metallica, who would occasionally spell his name with a Z at the end of it. And Metallica had a song, Unforgiven, completely unrelated to this movie, right? The year before.
Nice stream of consciousness there.
It is. No, I mean, like, I can't think Unforgiven without thinking of, Metallica.
Yeah, that's right.
They did not contribute. They were not asked to contribute a song to this soundtrack either, I'm sure.
No, thankfully.
Even though they love Westerns and they use Ennio Morricone, The Ecstasy of Gold, to open up some of their shows. Yeah. But yeah, you don't want no Metallica songs in this movie because what the hell would they do? Like, you just shot in on a man. It would suck. We don't want to hear it.
No.
We all have it coming.
Clint would not have that.
Yeah.
There's no way. Clint would not stand for that.
That's right. No, I don't want that kind of music.
Oh, Clint would just show up to James J. and
Jaymz.
Yeah.
You just stare at him.
Yeah, and he'd just be like, you and the boys best go out the back.
The guitar strings would just detune themselves.
Yeah.
Right, let's go. You don't want to mess with that. I don't care how metal you think you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But we do have some music by somebody who I don't know, but who I think did some other Clint movie soundtracks. Lenny Niehaus did some pretty good music in here. He did a lot of other Clint movie soundtracks, but I don't know his music other than this. And it's good. It sounds Western. It works, and that's all you need. It's just it doesn't jar you or take you out of the moment or out of the narrative. So it's good music.
Yeah, I think it's perfect. Even the levels, like everything about it is just perfect.
Yeah, it comes along and it's like, okay, yeah, you don't really notice it. Oh, there goes the soundtrack. There goes the score sweeping up and making us feel a certain way. Like, it doesn't do that. It's good.
And if we're talking about other elements of the film, the cinematography is just gorgeous.
Mostly it is. Yeah, I love the opening and closing shot when I'm standing at the grave at sunset.
I mean, just the shot of the mountains after he gets sick and he wakes up, he's looking out to the mountains. It's beautiful.
I think there was a couple of pretty shots of a wheat field, as I recall. Probably like one of my favorite wheat field shots ever in cinema.
Nice.
You can almost smell the grain. It was like so,
Right.
yeah, so sharp, so good. So he doesn't want to go along for this revenge mission just yet. And he can't really keep in touch with this Schofield kid. There's no texting. I don't even know if they've invented the printing press yet. You could send him a telegram. But the ponies get delivered, and the other whores, they're angry, even though the best pony was saved for the lady who got cut. And they're still pissed off. They're throwing mud at them. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I think those are cow pies.
Cow pies, right.
Yeah.
Thrown at the cowpokes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clint is doing some target practice, and he really sucks at it. So he's a little bit out of it. He's better with his rifle, And I don't know what he did. What did he do with his 357 Magnum? I'm not sure where that is.
Right.
It must be someplace. Maybe the pigs buried it.
Handgun.
Right. He should have that. So he tries to get in the saddle, and I like the way he tries to get back on his horse, and he keeps doing left turns and circles, and he can't get on it. There's some tricks the horse wranglers use to make horses do that, but I think they'll do it anyway if they just don't want you to get on.
Right, yeah. So they were trying to do that, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that horse might have worked with Clint before in a couple of movies and like, all right, not you again. Get off. Well, he rides into town. He tells his kids, he'll be away for 2 weeks. I don't know. They could be watched over by Sally Two Trees if they got any problems. I guess they live nearby.
Yeah, first he recruits Ned.
Yes, he looks up his old buddy Ned, and Ned's wife, Sally Two Trees, does not seem too happy about it, judging from the look on her face.
No, he said, she gave me the evil eye.
Yeah, two of them, actually.
Yeah. Right.
Well, Clint doesn't want to do any more bad stuff. He's talking about, the error of my ways and, trying to make right. And he's on the wagon. He hasn't touched a drop of whiskey in
That's right.
Several movies or whatever it is. Maybe after the missus passed away from the smallpox. I don't know if chicken pox killed anybody or even chickens.
I'm sure it has.
They never mention that. It's just smallpox, which it's just smallpox, no big pox. It's just
That's the big one.
Smallpox, right? It died of the big S, the small S. I'm sorry, let me get serious here for just a few seconds. So, all right, the whores offer a reward for revenge for Delilah, the cut one, and he gets Ned. But this is another thing I love about this movie. Every time you hear somebody talk about, they cut up that whore pretty bad, something awful, they're really exaggerating the injuries.
Yes.
Kind of like, they cut her eyes out and chopped off her fingers. They done decapitated her. Now she can't even give head no more. It's like they really exaggerate the shit out of it. It's not that bad. I mean, she has a lot of slashes on her face.
And that again goes back to the theme of legend and myth. So it's handed down, right?
Yeah. And it gets mutated to a different, taller story every time.
Yes, it's the game of gossip, right? And you tell one person, and then it becomes this completely different thing by the end. So Little Bill was kind of brought up as that, really very capable and honest lawman. And Clint's character, William Money, his myth, was brought up too. The fact that he was just this really vicious person. But the one person who actually lives up to their legend in the entire film is Clint. He is a vicious motherfucker.
Well, we wouldn't be going to see this movie if he didn't live up to his legendary status.
That's right.
I mean, he takes a couple of beatings in the movie, he does, but he gets what he needs to do by the end of the movie. He does it.
That's right. Yeah.
A little bit later, we meet another character, English Bob, on a train ride, played by Richard Harris.
That sumbitch.
Yeah, but now we don't know if he's actually really as English as he claims to be. He has that very eloquent, gentlemanly sort of drawl about him. And he's bringing his biographer along, played by Saul Rubinek, another great actor who does some excellent character work.
He's terrific, yeah. I mean, Richard Harris is amazing, of course.
They all are, yeah. Again, the whole cast is awesome in this movie, in every role.
And again, English Bob's myth was that he killed a gunslinger. Right.
He has so many legends that are being put into print in his best-selling book, The Duke of Death.
Yeah. And English Bob is not living up to his own myth. And the fact that he has a biographer, again, that touches on the theme of legends and myth. It's a biographer. It's the writer who's writing down these things and passing it on.
But now he's only writing it down as it's told to him. He's not really along for all the actual events as they happen.
Oh, but he learns to really love it. He's really excited about it.
Yeah, he just believes everything then, yeah.
Yeah.
The legend just perpetuates itself, and he just, anything, English Bob tells him, he's going to say, oh, wow, really? You did that? Wow, okay. Let me write that. They'll love to hear that.
Yeah. So he's not verifying. He's just taking it on face value. Plus, remember, he says, I'm taking creative liberties. So that means he's fabricating.
Yeah, it makes a better book.
Untruths, yeah.
It's true. I can't blame him. So they get to town. Now, this is what another thing I love about Westerns and pretty much all of them. The town is very, very basic, all right? It's got just the few establishments that you need. You got Greeley's, which is like the pub or brothel. You got the bank, and you got the Undertaker. So you're either going to screw, steal, or get shot. That's really all you need in this town.
Yeah.
You'll pretty soon you're going to be dead. The Undertaker is probably the most popular and busy businessman in the whole town because everyone's getting a wooden box built for them.
Right.
But that's really it. You don't see like, a lot of, like Targets or Krispy Kremes. It's just the basics, You drink and then you die. Drink, fuck, die. Very few things to do in these towns.
Excellent.
There's a few other people in town. I think some of them are deputies. There's this one guy, the guy with one arm, Clyde. And all I want to say about him is the actor who played him, Ron White, was in Screamers in 1995, which is worlds away from Unforgiven. And I'm sure nobody else really saw that movie but me. But it's a good movie and I like it. But his resume includes that. So now I know a guy from Unforgiven from another lesser movie.
Hey, Mike.
Yes.
Quick break. How do I sound now? Because Mike turned off before.
Oh, you sounded crappy before compared to this.
Oh, okay. All right.
Wow, I don't want to re-record this whole goddamn thing.
No. Do you want me to just go back to that or just?
Oh wait, how long was it turned off?
Up until now.
Oh, that's ridiculous, man.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know if we could start this whole shit over again unless you have all kinds of time. Well, it's the magic of podcasting, man. Anything goes. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
But you do sound much better now, I got to say. Why don't I just listen to it for it? Well, actually, no, I don't even have this thing downloaded yet. So, oh, gosh. Do you really care about the quality? Because if you don't, we'll just continue.
It's more about consistency. It's about consistency.
Right,
so
I don't want to fake this thing.
Okay, Mike.
All right, Dave. Yeah, let's just try to be professional here. I know there's been times I recorded like an hour with somebody, and I said, oh, fuck, I never started the recording. And we got to do it all over again. I was like, sorry about that. Thank God my guests love me. I'm like, I owe them a lot. Okay, so let's continue. All right. We may cut some of that out. Thank you, Dave. I don't want people to know like the professor here fucked up with his recording.
Yeah, because like Zoom automatically turns on my mic, but
yeah,
I guess Skype is not as smart. Yeah.
All right, so where were we? Duke of Death, which of course, Gene Hackman calls the Duck of Death after he kicks the shit out of English Bob and Beauchamp there. Saul Rubinek pisses himself when a gun gets pointed at him. So yeah, you're new in town, ain't you?
He goes, Duck, I says.
The Duke of Duck, yeah. I heard you were dead, somebody says. Little shade of Snake Plissken there.
Right.
All right, so he kicks the shit out of anybody who comes into town that looks like a gunslinger. There ain't no whore's gold. Scoot. He doesn't want anybody else trying to take the law into their own hands. He's the law, right? But he ain't going to do nothing. He'll give you some more ponies.
Right.
Well, Will and Ned find the kid shooting. He check his rifle. I like the way he goes like, thought something was bent because he can't hit anything. So they're going to go with the Schofield kid and they're going to split this reward 3 ways if they can manage to get those varmints. English Bob is in jail with his beating, and Saul Rubinek is allowed to sit outside and do some more writing, and he's learning now from Little Bill. Like now Little Bill is the subject of his new book, I guess.
Right.
Because he tells him some shit too, like this is what I did, I don't know if he's blowing more smoke, but he's very vain. That's the thing, it's his vanity that gets in the way of his right and wrong, his morality. He just wants to be number one and build his house by himself, basically, almost.
Another great symbolism is his house. So there's not like a straight piece of wood. So just like his view of morality, it's
a little skewed. Yeah, I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
It looked like it was put together pretty straight to me, but I've only seen it a couple times.
Right. But there's leaks. There's.
Oh, yeah, we see that later. Yeah, he couldn't put the roof up properly. Definitely not. I do like this one cool thing. I guess it's a filmmaker tactic or choice that when Little Bill gives the gun to Saul Rubinek inside the jail, well, what if I was to give it to him? He's going to pass it into the cell to English Bob, who you presume is going to shoot Gene Hackman. You hear the thunder outside, and it's like a very tense scene, and the thunder sort of just builds up that tension.
That's quality, like suspense. That's how you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, using when you wait for a thunderstorm and then you roll them.
Right.
I don't know. Well, the script sucks, but the weather's going to fix all that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I do like that scene a lot. We go back to Clint there, moralizing, like, I ain't like that no more. Drinking or killing people and his reputation and everything. Skinny is trying to offer some advice to the cut-up whores, like, get a veil. You know, I thought that, not that I should be judging, but, you know, I don't go to a lot of small-town whore brothels there, but I didn't think any of them were very, very pretty in the first place. Yeah. I don't know what they're charging for a go, but they could all use a veil. When I saw it, I didn't like none of them. I was like, nah, let me try the next town. But I definitely wouldn't hurt none of them. I would never do that. I ain't like that no more, Dave.
No more.
Anymore. See, Saul Rubinek would say, you're not like that anymore. Oh, shut the fuck up. Lee Donowitz. True Romance, right? When he was the film producer.
Yeah.
You remember that.
That's good, yeah.
That's good shit. Oh, he's great in that. But he's okay here. He's just like a sycophant here. You know, he just wants to get by and get out of this town alive and with all of his pages intact.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Now it starts pouring rain while the trio is riding around, and they don't have umbrellas, but they got plenty of whiskey, you know, to keep them warm in the rain. And we see Little Bill's leaky house, and he's in there talking to the biographer, and he makes one very unwise little crack. Hang the carpenter. And it gets real quiet for a second. I like that part.
What'd you say? And then he's saved because there's a knock on the door, right?
Right, yeah, lucky, saved by the knock. Because I don't think they invented doorbells yet. Oh, they didn't spring for one. It's not installed yet. Work in progress. The doorbell's coming next week. All right, so everyone's in town now, and Ned and the kid go upstairs for billiards, which is the euphemism for hanky-panky. But it still involves getting your balls into pockets, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so they go upstairs for the billiards and to, sharpen their cue or whatever. There's like a little bit of a standoff there. Clint is disarmed and he gets beat up a bit and kicked around, and people they're not worried anymore because they were clearing out before. He didn't even have to say a word. They just knew something was going down, getting out of the way. But now, the little Bill is there, take care of things.
And he's like totally sick from the rain.
Yeah, he was out in the cold, or he didn't drink the right quantity or concentration of whiskey. He forgot to bring a coat.
Yeah.
We leave home for 2 weeks with nothing, not even like a stick and a little bag over your shoulder. You're supposed to do that, man. Didn't Huck Finn teach you anything? Right. But all right, well, he's not going to die from fucking smallpox. He's Clint Eastwood, man. Come on. Or pneumonia.
That's right.
You probably die from almost anything. Because if you get sick in this time and place, like 1880 or whenever it was, you're just going to get some tincture or some tonic.
Yeah.
From the apothecary or whatever. And it's just going to be, I don't know, probably just like whiskey and molasses, 50-50 concentration, and everything's the same, and nothing keeps you alive. It's not medicine.
Or they're just going to start cutting off body parts.
Yeah, or get the leeches. Bring the leech.
Yeah, with no anesthesia. So.
Bloodletting. They're pulling teeth with no anesthesia, too. You know that?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Metallica keeps creeping back into the Unforgiven. So the two guys are done playing billiards. They slip out the window because they know there's trouble downstairs. Clint gets his face stitched up because he got kicked pretty badly in the face.
Yeah, by Little Bill. So it's like Little Bill is just not giving up his station,
Right, yeah. No one else is allowed to dish out any kind of justice in this town.
That's right. Like, this is my idea of law and order and morality. You can get the fuck out of here. Yeah.
And he also has a no firearms policy. So anybody who walks into anywhere with a gun strapped to him has got to get disarmed or get shot.
Yeah. Well, this way no one can challenge him. He doesn't want any challengers.
He wanted a lot of challengers in The Quick and the Dead. He was also a sheriff in that movie, and he was a real asshole in that movie. But eventually Sharon Stone was able to distract him by flashing her beaver, and she's able to shoot him through the head. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I think it was something like that.
Right.
She just uncrossed her legs and pow, that's it. Just distracted him. Now, that's a good movie, too. Gene Hackman, he did a few Westerns around this time in the 90s. I guess he kind of got a taste for it. He liked them.
Yeah. But he always fit that role perfect. He's great. He fits any role.
Yeah, no, he was very, very versatile, and he delivers a very convincing performance on almost everything he does. Yeah. And then he retired, and we didn't see him much anymore. But he was great. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Great actor. Absolutely. Clint, as we speak, is still going strong, doing stuff. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Oh, his quality control never faltered ever. It's like, I think all his movies are good.
Yeah.
Even his bad ones. No, Clint wouldn't do that. I mean, he did a lot of movies with an orangutan, but that's all right, because that was the thing back in the day. Yeah.
Right. Those are great movies.
Oh, of course. I really don't have anything negative to say about any Clint Eastwood movies. In fact, I don't know, I probably discovered him in maybe not the finest part of his career, but I think I saw him the first time in Sudden Impact. That was like the third or fourth Dirty Harry movie. And I'm pretty sure he almost pioneered the catchphrase, remember, go ahead, make my day. He's pointing his gun at somebody. I used to hear that, and then countless times I would just like say that to people, and countless times I would have the shit kicked out of me. But that was like the thing to say. That was way before like, I'll be back or any of that shit. Right. Do you punk? Yeah, all right. Those are good too. Do you feel lucky? Like he started that whole shit.
Yeah, that's right. Like the cool phrase.
The cool phrase, right? You either say and people just run, or you say it before you put a bullet in them.
Right.
Yeah.
Stick around.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Arnold was very influenced by Dirty Harry. He said that many times, I used to watch all the Clint Eastwood with Dirty Harry, and they were so good, especially when we went to the one-liners. But that was too many lines for me to remember, so I couldn't do it. All right, but yeah, Clint is he's the legend of all legends. And yeah, he did comedies, and his comedies were good, I think, but they had action in them too. And they had rodeos and always a little bit of Western flavor in there.
Right.
But all right, Unforgiven, yeah. Forgive me for getting off track here. Clint gets out of there. He's all beat up. The whores bring some provisions for them because, like, now we got like a little agreement going on. And somebody has mug shots of the guys that cut them up, or the two guys. One of them did the cutting. The other one was just there. But there's like mug shots, and they're just drawings. I guess somebody just like crumples it up and sticks it in their pocket or whatever to go around and see who looks like that. Somebody just has a really good memory. Like, maybe one of the other whores has got some talent and was able to draw those mug shots.
Yeah, I mean, they just need an artist and a witness, right? And then the witness describes it to the artist.
Right, or somebody just took a pencil out and drew like a teensy little pecker. If you see a guy with that, that's him. That was him. You just do like one little dash, like draw a dash with a pencil.
A dash with like a circle part at the end.
Right, yeah, a little tiny bubble, right, a little dot. Yeah.
Or like the letter I, right?
Exactly, yeah, like a lowercase I. That's him. That's the son bitch. If he looks like that, you just hold it up to his crotch. Oh, yeah, it's a perfect match. All right, so Clint is, he's still not doing well. He's babbling and hallucinating and talking about the angel of death and morbid shit, and he goes into whiskey withdrawal. And the whores bring him back his hat, because he's nothing without his hat. You got to have his hat.
You got to have your hat.
Yeah, he's got that back. They find the younger cowboy, the guy who was with the cutter, and they shoot him. His horse falls on him, I guess. He's crawling away. He gets shot in the gut.
Yeah, Davy Boy. Yeah.
Davy Boy. And he's like, I'm so thirsty. And Clint feels a little sympathy. Will you give him a drink from water for Christ's sake?
Yeah.
And Morgan Freeman can't finish him off. He's like, I can't go through with it. I'm up for parole. I can't.
Yes.
So Clint does it for him.
I don't give a shit.
You got no guts.
Yeah, that's a pivotal scene for Morgan Freeman's character, for Ned.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't kill anyone in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't deserve to die.
Right, what he gets, yeah.
Right.
But he needs to be made an example of by Little Bill.
Right. And I'm jumping ahead, but in the end, it's William Money who says, deserve's got nothing to do with this.
Yeah, which is a great line. You could say that as many times as you want to.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's, life is just unfair, and life runs by its own set of morals and, fairness.
Especially in the Wild West, man, there's very little sense to right and wrong. Just shit just happens, and if you happen to be standing in the path of a bullet, well, you're shit out of luck.
Right.
There's a lot of bullets out there.
Yeah. It's
like heavy traffic. But what happens with Morgan Freeman is like he really can't go through with the killing there, and he just like rides off, I'll catch up with you like next time, whatever. He thinks he's going home, but along the way he gets captured.
Yep.
He's getting whipped, and Little Bill is torturing him, and he's interrogating him and trying to find out where his accomplices are. And I don't think he ever gives them up, but eventually he dies of his wounds.
Eventually he does tell him.
He does give him something, right?
Yeah, he tells him who William Money is.
Oh, all right, he gives him something, yeah.
Because he pretends his name is Hendershot.
Oh, Hendershot. We already know that's a fake name.
Yeah.
Well, William Money sounds kind of iffy as well, but, Eddie Money was really Eddie Mahoney. He's like, good alias.
And then we have to think, like, how bad was the torture for Ned to give up his best friend?
Yeah, he was very loyal. It had to suck. It was fatal. It was fatal whipping, or whatever else happened that we didn't see.
Right.
Well, we see him again later, but not in a good way. But the second cowboy, he's hanging out somewhere in a little hideout, and he goes out to the shitter, there's an outhouse, which is the way you have to go back then. There's two different outhouses. The Schofield kid there kicks open one door.
Yep.
And I think it's the wrong one. Is it door number 1 or door number 2, or somebody in there is doing number 2? He opens the door and he shoots the shit. Yeah. Well, he shoots the guy shitting. And it's a really bad way to go. Kind of like Tywin Lannister. You get killed on the shitter. And Schofield kid was boasting that he killed 5 men, but actually this was his first kill. And he's drinking a lot of whiskey to kind of soothe that reality.
Yeah.
He pukes, kind of like I did after my first encounter with High West. But at least I ain't killed no one.
Right. But again, it goes back to the theme of tall tales and myth.
Yeah, he was giving tall tales of himself.
Right.
Well, because, you got to be respected. If you encounter anybody else who you think is a mean motherfucker like Clint Eastwood would be, you'd have to at least drum up some kind of bullshit like, oh, yeah, I killed plenty of guys.
Yeah.
Even if it's just like a fake story. Clint finishes the whiskey once he sees what happens to Ned. He sees the coffin outside, an open casket with Ned inside of it, and there's a sign up says, this is what happens to assassins in this town.
Or something like that, yeah, because he doesn't like assassins.
You don't like assassins, right? So the guy that got shot in the shitter, this is where this great dialogue comes from. It's like, I guess you had it coming. We all have it coming, kid.
Yeah.
Right, that's where he says that, because you have to have a reason to say that.
Yeah.
It's probably in the trailer. A lot of lines from the trailer, just like 1 or 2 lines make you want to just go see this movie. The one that's coming up, the big one that comes up later. Well, there's a cool shot where you see like a rifle in the foreground. I think that's when Clint is going to finish the business. And he comes into the what's it called there?
The saloon.
The saloon, Greeley's, whatever it's called, Greeley's pub, saloon, haberdashery, an inn. So he goes in there. Yeah, Anthony James there, skinny, starts to speak up. Clint goes, who's the owner of this shithole?
Yeah.
And he shoots him. That's me. And he shoots him. Anthony James is killed. You just shot an unarmed man. Well, he should have armed himself. That's the line, man. That's like, let's go see this movie.
Yeah.
Because I figure like the entire movie is just Clint Eastwood just spitting out cool dialogue like that.
Yeah.
But he just says it when it counts. He doesn't say that much in the movie. But most of his words are cool.
But he takes out an entire room full of gunmen. He shoots everybody who's firing at him.
Yeah, he shoots Clyde, the one-armed man, and Dr. Richard Kimball sends his thanks.
Yeah. So
everyone, he takes him out because he could do it. He's a good gunslinger.
Well, he lives up to the myth, right? So he and Ned actually live up to. No, actually, Ned doesn't, because Ned has changed. Ned can't kill Davy Boy.
Yeah.
So he doesn't live up to his own. But he's become a better person. That's the thing, right?
Unfortunately, a deader person, too.
Yeah. And that's the travesty. Right? That's the unfairness of it all. But, yeah, William Money is the only one who lives up to their myth in this film. And he's the one who gets away. And when the biographer goes up to him and he's like all, sycophantic to him, like, oh, can I
write your story?
Yeah,
You're going to be a bestseller.
Like, no, like, get the fuck out of here. He points a gun at him, who'd you kill first? Was it whoever? Is like, I don't know, but I can tell you who I'm going to kill last.
Yeah, there's another good one. That means that's your cue to, all right, exit stage left.
Yeah. And that's like also the fact that he doesn't need a biographer for his legend to go on, because it will. It's because he is William Money. And when he rides off, just to jump ahead, right? One of the sheriff's guys has a clear shot at him. Clear shot, right?
Yes, right. I remember that. Yep.
But he doesn't take it. No one wants to shoot him because they're all afraid of the myth of William Money.
But if you end that myth, won't you be a myth yourself for doing it?
But they're too scared of him.
They think maybe the bullet will bounce off him and ricochet back and kill you, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah, like he's not human. He's supernatural.
Right. He's like the Terminator or something.
Right. So,
okay, yeah, so they don't. Well, of course, he talks big, too, when he gets out of there. He's warning everybody, you better bury Ned right, and you better not cut up or harm no whores.
Yeah.
Those are his instructions.
Or I'll come back and kill everyone last of you motherfuckers.
Yeah, right, or there'll be a sequel.
Yeah.
There's 3 Unforgivens from Metallica. Don't give me any ideas.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he just rides off. And I think the movie finishes the way it began, at the grave and sunset, talking about he was a good husband, even though everyone said he was a no good thief and murderer.
Yeah. And it says it was rumored that he moved to San Francisco, where he prospered in dry goods.
Where he joined the SFPD with a 357 Magnum.
Right.
That rumor's true.
Yeah.
Myths are good.
And it's a beautiful, like that shot. Yeah. I mean, the color is just gorgeous with the sunset. Plus the fact that he fades away like legend. It's God, man. I love this movie so much. it's so good. And it's also just one big note overall. Because a lot of Westerns, we're just desensitized to violence. It's people are constantly getting shot. Right. And dying.
Well, I just want to see some more violence or like something I haven't seen before and like push it over the top or, make it a really good movie that has something to say about the characters that you don't care that nobody's shooting anyone for like 15 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, no one gets shot until Davy Boy. And these are very targeted, right? Because they're assassins. They're targeted. So they're not just shooting every which way.
But loose.
Yeah. Yeah. All around. And people like nondescript people are just dying. Like, background actors are just dying, right? That doesn't happen. Not really even in the bar scene, in the saloon scene. It's because it's the sheriff's men that he goes after. He doesn't kill.
Yeah. Right. Money knows who's the threat to him and who's just a patron.
Yeah. He doesn't kill indiscriminately. Mm-hmm. And that's what I love about this film, too, is because in other Westerns, like they just shoot around and innocent bystanders get killed, like the bartender or whatever, just because there's a stray bullet.
Well, here's my little dilemma now, of course, from the trailer and not really being so familiar with what happens in the film. When, he shoots the unarmed man, like he should feel bad about that. He kills Anthony James, Skinny there.
Mm-hmm.
He's really deserving of getting shot because he allowed or didn't oppose displaying Ned's dead body outside with a sign on top. Like, yeah, okay, so if you're the asshole who's advertising this, you get a bullet. You got it coming.
Right. Yeah, because so it's vigilantism. Right?
Yeah.
So it's his idea of morality now. So William Money's idea of morality and law wins out in the end. It wins out over Little Bill's idea of morality and stuff. And Little Bill, his idea of, fairness and just, he says at the end, I don't deserve this. I was building a house. He thinks that, he's a good man to his last breath. Like he thought like he was doing everything right. That's what he was thinking. And William Money, his brand of morality is deserves got nothing to do with this.
Right. Plus your house was leaky.
Yeah.
You're a shit carpenter. Blam. Now you'll leak too. Blam, blam, blam. He finishes him off at the end, because he has to have a few more lines. He can't just get shot and go down. When you're a good actor, you have to have a little dying monologue.
And if you remember the way he shoots him, it's his high-powered rifle straight to his mouth.
Right. So and we don't really see. We don't see Hackman in that shot, but we just figure he doesn't miss. Yeah.
But just imagine the mess that makes.
Oh, yeah.
It's horrific. Right.
And who's going to clean it up? Hopefully not the cut-up whore.
Right.
Because who's left alive to do the cleaning now?
Yeah. But then beauty also is the reaction of William Money. He doesn't even fucking blink.
Nah, well, he's not supposed to.
He doesn't turn away.
Nah.
He stays on it for a few seconds. Stone cold. And that's the return of the killer, the vicious and intemperate murderer, William Money. That's it. Yes.
Such a multifaceted film through your lens, man. I don't catch all these things. I just know it's good. It's like it's a good Western. I mean, I can't judge it. I can't weigh this against every other Western that's ever been made, especially the Clint Eastwood ones. But he never plays a sheriff, right? He's always just like some lone pale rider or whatever.
Right.
High plains drifting badass.
Yeah, I think so. The anti-hero. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. He probably doesn't have a social security number and just goes around shooting people if they mess with him.
Got a library card though.
Yeah, he probably does. He's going to read The Duke of Death and say, that part's wrong. I'm going to write the foreword. Foreword by William Money. Or epilogue by William Money, too.
Yeah, right.
Well, actually, speaking of The Duke of Death, Richard Harris leaves. He leaves town and he's not so prim and proper anymore. It's like, you bloody bunch of savages out there.
Right.
He starts sounding a little bit cockney when he's leaving.
And you remember what he says, right?
Some of it.
You got no laws. You got no rules, right? Or something like that. You got no morals. And so that's like he's yelling out like part of the theme, Like this town is immoral.
It is.
He's taken away because he sees through that. So the leader of the town, the producer of this amoral society, sends him away because you do not belong here.
Yeah, you stick around here too long, you're going to get shot. You're gonna get a few holes in you. But he was apparently a good shot, at least according to his legend. Like I don't know, no one ever had a showdown with him.
And like a lot of great reaction shots, just like that scene with the jail where he's in there about to take the gun. You know he's going to take that gun. You know how badly he wants it just from his look, right? Yeah. And then
he could feel your anger.
Yeah. And then because he's probably thinking maybe it's not loaded, he's lying. And then I'm going to get shot for nothing, right? Because I picked up the gun and he's justified. But then when Hackman takes back the gun and empties the bullets from each chamber in the revolver, you see Richard Harris's face go, mother.
Yeah, right.
Like he could have killed him.
I think Hackman is fast enough to do it. If he really saw he was going to draw on him, he would have just put him down.
He would have killed Hackman. Yeah. Because he didn't have to draw.
Well, that would have been cool. Maybe deleted scenes, alternate ending.
Yeah, right.
Maybe great scene, man. If he killed Hackman, what do you think he would have done then?
He probably, I don't know if he was into like being a lawman. I don't know.
Nah, just add another really good chapter, a really popping chapter to the book.
I have a feeling he wouldn't call himself sheriff, but he'd run the town.
He'd be like the Lord or,
the gang boss. Yeah.
Sheriff of Nottingham, maybe. Yeah, that has a nice ring to it. Well, that's a great movie, man.
But, I mean, Westerns aren't like my top favorite genre.
It's sort of a limited world. You know what I mean? Like you're not going to say, oh yeah, the kids went off to college. It's more or less just somebody did some bad shit and they're going to die for it, or they're going to be protected by somebody else.
Yeah.
Or somebody stole this or that. It's really just like good and evil and bad and ugly, right?
Yeah, pretty much. And the Western is one of the few, if not only, true American genre. Like the genre that came from America, because it couldn't have come from anywhere else except America.
If you keep going west, what do you get? Where do you end up? Yeah, wherever the sun sets, that's the West.
Well, yeah. I mean, in terms of a genre, taking the world by storm, it's the Western. It's the American Western. That's truly American.
Yeah, and it's a recognized genre all over the world.
Yeah, but it has to come from the American West.
Yeah, well, the spaghetti westerns, they're done by a bunch of Italians.
Yes, but still it takes place in the American West.
Right, like they shoot them in Sicily and just try to fake the backgrounds.
I don't know where they shot them. So.
Well, Sergio Leone. Yeah, this movie was actually dedicated to Sergio and another one of Clint Eastwood's Western mentors or directors. So it's respectful. That's why I thought this was kind of like, this is the setting sun of the Clint Eastwood Western. It's just like, let me finish up with a really good one. And that's it. No more of this crap. No more Dirty Harrys. I'll just do what I want now.
Yeah, and it's amazing. If that is true, like this is the movie he just hangs his hat on. It's an unbelievable way to go as your final Western. Like it's amazing. It's an Oscar winner, So.
Yeah, it is. Best Picture and Best Supporting Actor for Hackman there, and Best Director for Clint.
Yeah.
His first Oscar, actually, I think.
There you go.
Well, I had it coming. I had it coming. Thank you. That was his acceptance speech.
But it's like the script, went through years of development. I think it took 15 years. It just didn't catch fire until later on. Like all the pieces were there. Like maybe Clinton was available, and then they got the money, and then he got the cast he wanted. Finally, like everyone was available. And then it coalesced, and then they got the script to a good place that Clint was happy with. And so all these things took about 15 years, But it's like you take it and you dust it off, and then, okay, let's rewrite. Let's make it better. And imagine, like, they made it before it was fully cooked, They released it. What if they made it 10 years or, like, 5 years? It probably wasn't that well developed yet. But it's like just the stars aligning that made this film possible. Which is, I don't know, it's a great Hollywood story.
Shit. Well, you got good taste in movies there, Dave Chan.
Oh, thank you there, Michael Darrigo.
And occasionally I stumble upon good movies myself, and thanks for encouraging us to do this one.
Yeah.
It's only downhill after this, probably, for the next one, but this was a good one. We don't talk about that many Oscar winners, so yes.
Oh, yes. No. But, thanks for indulging me for this one. It's not as comedy heavy.
Nah, well, yeah, I can't help myself, but yeah, it's a quality film and it deserves some degree of respect.
Yes.
Well, thanks a bunch. Thanks for doing this episode. I mean, you were very reliable. I figure if some people out there, I could tell you, man, it'd probably be about as useless as tits on a tornado. But you You done brung it, son. You brung it. You brung the intelligence and the intellectualism and the hee-haw and the know-how and everything you need to know about Unforgiven. So I hope I'm finally forgiven for all the other shit movies I made you talk about.
Yeah.
Well, till we meet again. Yeah, that's your best.
Yeah.
You got any good one-liners to sign us off with?
The hell of a thing, killing a man. You take away everything he's got, and all that he's gonna be.
All he's gonna have.
I think it's B.
Oh no, I thought you'd take away everything he's got and everything he's gonna have. Because I don't know. What if he was gonna have smallpox next week? And like, you're not really taking that away from him. Like, it's like you wouldn't want it.
You're doing him a favor, kind of.
You're doing him a big favor. What if he was gonna have, a hernia or something, or or have like dysentery or explosive diarrhea? Yeah, you're sparing him those things.
Yeah, trust me, it's not cool.
It's not cool, right? I'll trust you. But I hope to discover it for myself. Yeah, that's all right. Oh, boy, what a messy finish. Like, messier than shooting Gene Hackman in the face. All right, well, anyways, I hope everybody's in the face. I hope that cut-up whore got her surgery. We never found out what happened to her. If she got her face fixed up or got the veil or a bag or anything. But I wish her well. I hope she moved on to greener pastures and, more upscale billiards hall.
It was rumored she moved to Orlando, prospered in wet goods.
Wet goods. Well, yeah, wet is good, so I'm told. Okay, Professor, I'm going to let you off the hook now before we overstay our welcome. So let's make like the tumbleweeds and let's scoot. Thanks for being here on Missing Real. And thank you, listeners, for listening, and film buffs who know what good movies are. Yeah. All right, man. See you around soon, DG.
All right, Mike. Thanks.
Cheers.
But if you were to listen to Missing Real podcast, you would stand, how shall I put it, in awe. So, what did you think of my podcast? Man's gotta know his limitations. What does that mean?